Hey guys, we're going to do decimal multiplication. You can find this in unit 4.5 of your textbook. Alright, let's do this. Decimal multiplication is not that hard, okay? Because we just treat it like normal multiplication and we just add the decimals in at the end. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we need to count how many decimal places we have behind the decimal. So in this one, we have 1, 2, 3. 3 numbers. So I like to put a small number in my top right hand corner to remind me of the number and remind me to put my decimals back in at the end. Once we've taken the decimals out, we just treat it like a normal number. Alright. So we're just going to do multiplication. So what's 3 times 2? 6. 7 times 3? 21. 3 times 1? 3 plus 2 is 5. I like to cross out my 2 to remind myself I've used it up. And 4 times 3 is 12. Am I done? No. Because I know, because I'm a mathematician, that 4 and a little bit times 3 could never equal 12,000. So I must be like, oh yeah, got to bring back my decimals. So if I had 3 numbers behind the decimal in the question, then I have to have 3 numbers behind the decimal in the answer. So I'm going to count off 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to put in my decimal. So my answer is 12.516. And I know that that is reasonable. Okay, so I'm even going to tell my teacher that this is a reasonable answer. Because 4 times 3 equals 12. So 4 times 3 equals 12. So 4 and a little bit must equal 12 and a little bit. So that makes sense. I got it right. What happens if we have decimals in both numbers? That's fine too. We just have to add them all up all together. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3. So we just add all the numbers together and then we just treat it like a normal number. So 234 times 312. So we just go through, do 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4. My second number, I need to add that 0. 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 2 is 2. Third number, 2 zeros. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9 plus the 1, 10. 3 times 2 is 6 plus the 1 is 7. Now I know I must add these up. Alright, now let's add it up. Could 2 and a little bit times 31 and a little bit equals 73,000? No, never. So I must count on 3. 1, 2, 3, because that's my number. And put my decimal place in. Could the answer be 73? Yeah, it could be 73. So that is how we multiply with decimals. Alright? So we just add up the total. Sometimes though, we could get something like this, which has, first of all, a lot of decimals. But second of all, there's a lot of zeros here. I don't necessarily want to sit there and multiply by 7,000. So what I can do is I can count the decimals again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I just multiply by 7. So 6,295 multiplied by 7. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 9 is 63. Plus another 3 is 66. 7 times 2 is 14. Plus a 6 is 20. And 7 times 6 is 42. Plus a 2 is 44. Alright, then I add my decimals back in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually multiply, because I've only multiplied by 7, not 7,000. Alright, now I'm going to multiply this by 7,000. So by 1,000. Alright, so I had 4. What is going on? Alright, so I've multiplied my number by 7, but not by 7,000. So now I'm going to multiply this by 1,000. Which to do that, I've got to move the decimal point 3 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 0, 6.5. Now I always like to check, did I move the decimal in the right direction? So if I'm multiplying by 1,000, the number should have got bigger. So did my number get bigger? Yes. So then I must have done it right. So if we're multiplying by something with a lot of zeros, we don't have to put all the zeros in here. We can times it by 1,000 afterwards.